welcome to the MBS True Reviews. I am your host, Norman Sanzo. Joining me today is Silver-Quill.
I think I'm getting the black lung.
No, you better stop smoking, man.
I can't. It happens every time I get blown up.
Oh no, did you scan first?
No, I did not scan anything. Scanning gets you eaten.
But how could I help you if you don't scan?
You can get me off this water planet.
Alright then, and also joining us today is Sapphire Heartsong.
I'm fine, you're fine, everything's fine.
Indeed, we are all fine.
Yeah.
But anywho, with that confusion out of the way, in today's episode review, we are going to review Season 7, Episode 20, Health of Information. In this episode, Zecora comes down with swamp fever, a disease for which no cure has been discovered, and Fluttershy makes it her mission to heal her. Will she succeed? Will she fail? Find out next. But before that, let's get into first impressions. Silver, my man, what did you think?
Everyone except Fluttershy is horrible. This is a strange episode for that. You've really only got two other ponies and Zecora in this episode. Well, and the historical mage Meadowbrook. But Season 7 has been a strange time for Fluttershy. They've done away with the whole, oh, I'm so shy, I don't know if I want to do this. And now she's being bold and assertive and going forward. But in this episode, that comes at the expense of Twilight and Ponyville's doctor.
Mm-hmm. And also Cattail.
Oh, right, Cattail. I forgot Cattail. Well, Cattail's cool. But he's just like, is this how it has to be? You've got Fluttershy being bold and driven and Twilight's worried about breakfast? That just seems wrong. It's wrong, I tell you.
I think there is a reason. Like, the writing here makes sense to me, but, I'm going to leave that for when we have to go deep into it. Go deep.
Oh my, Norman, how could you?
I blame you, Silver. You're the one that put me on this path.
Oh, I see how it is. Blame the hippogriff. Everybody blame the hippogriff.
Anyway, Seppi.
I hug the hippogriff.
Seppi, what about you? What do you think of this episode?
This episode reminds me of two things.
Oh?
One, either Blissey and her 6-2-1 rule. Or two, me when I'm too stubborn to go back to sleep.
Alrighty then. And as for me, this episode was a lot of fun. I do enjoy Fluttershy's over-assertiveness for this one and going beyond the call of duty to help Zecora till putting her own life at risk. So yeah, it's a nice change of pace, but the situation that she was in, I see that she really, really wanted to get this done and over with just because she felt responsible for it. But anywho, if you guys have not watched this episode yet, pause here and go watch it. And welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. So anyway, let's head into the review. So we start off with our heroes just hanging out in the swamp, getting some muck for Fluttershy's animal sanctuary. And I'm a bit confused here. Well, why is Zecora helping Fluttershy with this case? I mean, couldn't Fluttershy go get it herself?
Therein is the first flaw of this here episode.
Forced expertise, I guess? I don't know.
Maybe she knew
that might be the reason why.
Maybe she knew where to get the moss?
Okay. The only reason why I'm saying this is because Fluttershy can fly. She could just flap her wing and go get it. And yeah, it's easily solvable.
Her wing wasn't working that day.
Maybe she's having Hydra flashbacks.
Yeah. But anywho, one slip up causes a branch to break and Zecora fell into the swamp. And you know what? It ain't all that bad. Falling into the swamp allows her to get a whole bunch of muck. So she gets muck and heads to shore. Unfortunately, there's some kind of flower that pollinate on her. Ew.
Actually, if you watch this scene in hindsight, there's almost a sinister action to it.
Oh.
Because as soon as she's in the water, the tree dumps a plant and floats it right in her path, almost like it's taking aim.
Fire in the hole!
And all I'm
It's
thinking of...
confirmed. Treason and Equestria are evil, including Brooke Bloomberg.
And I'm thinking of G.I. Joe, the movie.
Oh.
No, not the spores! Not the spores!
It's okay. Doki's in a coma. Doki's in a coma.
That kills any dramatic tension, although it doesn't kill my favorite show.
So talking about dramatic tension, Zecora comes to shore all wet and polka dotty with orange spots. Oh no, this is not natural. And Fluttershy gasp. And we head to the doctors. Yes, we head to the doctors. And
Nick S.
yeah.
All right, I'm assuming this guy's an HMO doctor.
Okay, why?
Because he doesn't give a fig about his patients.
Nah, man. I have doctor friends, and most of them are detached. They have to. It's part of the job.
Yeah.
Well, this guy is basically saying, you're host, you're going to die, and I'm not even going to try and find a treatment. See ya! That's not detachment. That's, I'm overdue for my coffee break.
Okay, but seriously, the Creme Fluttershy goes to the doctor, and the doctor checks her out. And doing a few tests, right now Sakura has spots, coughing bubbles. Said doctor catches bubbles and put it into a jar and shakes it.
Who's Sakura? I didn't know we were watching an anime.
Sakura? What are you talking about?
I think
You call Zecora Sakura.
Oh, you might have misheard me then. But anywho.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I actually, to all our listeners, that sounds like a fan art challenge. Card capture Zecora. Make it happen.
Yay! But anywho, doctor shakes bottle and says, as long as the water doesn't turn red, she's safe. Oh no, water turns blood red. You're screwed. And the reason why is you have this illness called the swamp fever. First it starts out with you having polka dots and then coughing bubbles. Then you spout branches. Then you turn into a tree.
And Fluttershy's all like, I'm so jealous.
Oh no.
Inwardly, she's like, Sakura, you biznatch, you've taken my dream.
And with the diagnosis, the doctor says, there's no known cure. You're screwed. So anyway, I'm going to go get my coffee. You go have fun.
Have fun.
Yep.
Don't die.
And Zecora says, oh, I'll be fine. I'm sure there's a cure somewhere. And Fluttershy says, yeah, we got to find that cure. I need to right this wrong. I'm sorry, because of me you're sick. Okay, we need to do this. Let's do things. And Zecora says, yeah, I'm sure we can do things. I think you can do things at Twilight's library. Yes, books. Go look into books. Yes.
Well, truly they're looking for the legendary healer who could cure any disease. So they need a bit of history. And who's the history buff?
Twilight.
Sparkle.
Also, who's in an adorable hat?
Twilight Sparkle. And Spike.
Exactly.
Yay. So, Fluttershy goes to the castle, barrages into Twilight's room. Poor etiquette. Like, could you just imagine what would happen if Twilight was snoring in there? Like, good gosh.
You could hear some funny dreams. No, Flash, not the raspberry sauce. Let's get the marshmallow fluff this time.
Boys. But anywho, glad that she's not there, and Fluttershy finds Twilight in the kitchen, baking. And it seems that Twilight and Spike are having a bake-off, saying whose dish are the best. I think sweet potato muffins for Twilight and cauliflower what's now for Spike?
Here we go. Spike, my cauliflower bites blew her sweet potato muffins out of the water.
Cauliflower, I didn't catch that. It's really unmemorable. What was it again?
Well, it's so unmemorable, I even lost sweet...
I think it was something about blueberry sweet potato muffins.
There are no blueberries. My cauliflower bites
cauliflower
blew her
bites.
sweet potato muffins out of the water.
Okay, cauliflower bites.
Yeah.
See, even Seppi doesn't.
I'm not real big
I
on.
hate both sweet potatoes and cauliflower, so I already assumed that I repressed this memory.
I like sweet potatoes, but cauliflower is just sort of there.
Yeah.
Cauliflower, I have trauma over that I'd rather not discuss, and sweet potatoes just.
Have you tried
my
it?
grandma tries to force that
That's not a word.
down my throat.
Oh, you haven't tried the good kind of. Oh, okay.
I have trauma.
It's okay.
You've also invoked the wrath of the sweetie bot
Why? How come?
because she dropped a 4-letter word in that.
Really? I didn't. Okay, never mind. Sweetie Bot needs to search that one out. But anywho, Fluttershy drags Twilight to the library and explaining that Zecora's sick because of me and we need to find a cure. Or at least we need to find a reference for a cure for something because there's a legendary healer that could heal anything. So we need to scan books. Let's do it.
Now, this is where I feel like this episode does Twilight a disservice. She seems bored with this or uninvested. There's no sense of urgency. And why is it just Twilight and Fluttershy? Zecora has saved the main six on several occasions. She's been the Deus Ex more times than we can count.
True, but for explanation for why it's just the two of them, let's just say budgetary and time keep reasoning and to make the story more focused. So let's just say that.
No, man, I can't accept that. Because that's basically admitting we did this because this is an artificial story.
Not really. I do kind of understand the situation for just the two of them. But the part where Twilight is bored by reading books and not remembering her own books, that is off a bit.
All I'm saying is that Twilight just needs to throw in a line saying, Applejack's at helping out in Appaloosa, Rarity's at a fashion show in Canterlot, Rainbow's at a Wonderbolt show.
Yeah.
Pinkie Pie is
Babysitting.
missing in action.
Okay.
Basically, just say the other four are engaged and they can't help out. So it's down to the two of them.
True, and also don't forget Starlight. She lives there.
Well, Starlight seems to vanish for days on end without it being seen. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
She's still on Carolot High with Sunset. That's my canon.
Alrighty then. But anywho, situation is they look for books, and after a few hours, they look at every book in Twilight's library and couldn't find any. And Twilight, being tired, sleeps on books, and it's just so adorable.
But then she goes to bed. Meanwhile, Fluttershy out Twilight's Twilight.
Yeah, and this is the part where I have to agree with you, Silver, that this is so not like Twilight because she's not invested. Like, she's not even saying that, okay, we'll pick this up back in the morning because right now I'm a bit tired and we should get some rest. Like, is it me? No, right?
Well, it's not you. This is the strange thing about Twilight. She's worried more about breakfast than Zecora's health. Her friend could turn into a tree. Basically, not a physical death, but a death of the mind. Which you'd think Twilight would be all over preventing. But no, she's just sort of, do we really have to go? Do we really have to do this, that, or the other thing? I want to have breakfast. I want to sleep in. This is not Twilight Sparkle. Of all the main six, she is the most motivated.
Yeah. How do I even put this? Because I see what you mean, and I hate to use this word, but Twilight seems out of character here.
Yeah, that seems fair. I haven't used that term since The Good, the Bad, and the Ponies, where she was completely apathetic to the plight of a town. Why is it when Zecora's out of character, suddenly everyone around her starts suffering more?
Yeah, but it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad because even though initially Twilight does seem out of character, but in the morning, after kind of a quick breakfast or whatnot, Fluttershy barged in and tells Twilight that she discovered the healer and who she is after doing some cross-referencing between books. And this part here is where I am happy for Fluttershy because you did a good job. Good on you, Fluttershy.
Gold stickers abound.
Yes. So anywho, she discovered that said healer is Mage Meadowbrooks, one of the legendary healers of Equestria. and just saying something about mask and point referencing blah 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 and so on. So yeah, they know a location to start looking, and it's hayseed swamps. I think that's way down south by the bayou.
As long as it's not near that fire swamp where the bayou ponies nearly got Apple Bloom killed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, this is great. This just shows how terrible the hospital is even further. Instead of at least tending to Zecora and making her final days as comfortable as possible, they kick her out and send her back to her home in the middle of the Everfree Forest.
It could be
What's the flip?
Zecora could be the one that insisted on going back home.
I'm not having that, Norman. This hospital is not showing me its best face. And so, thus I declare epic fail.
No comment on that one. But anywho, Zecora here looks to be a bit tired and out of it. And she ain't be rapping, yo.
Kill me.
Oh, Dizam.
Yeah. She lost her rhyme. She don't know rhyming.
I just came back from seeing Black Panther and I can automatically declare that that's racist.
But how so?
You know why. Anyway.
Yeah. So now Zecora is sneezing lightning. Yes. Was it thunder? No, lightning. Lightning is the light that... Yeah.
I gotta say, equestrian diseases are at least interesting.
Oh, yeah, true that.
I mean, most humans just cough up like phlegm or
Blood.
Mucus or blood, kind of the boring
Gross
stuff.
things.
Yeah.
Just the boring stuff. Being able to sneeze lightning, that'd be a charge.
Oh, yeah.
Ha!
But
See what your old man.
But anywho, Fluttershy and Twilight fly off to the Hayseed swamps. And it seems a bit abandoned. And it seems like that one town in Resident Evil 4. Remember that one?
Nope, because I don't play video games.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, is that the one with all the Spanish people trying to kill you?
Yes, that one.
Yep.
It seems similar to that one. I wonder why. But anywho, they spot a tree house similar to Zecora, and it's locked. And Fluttershy's answer to this is, "Stand back, Twilight. I shall dig us a way in with my hooves. Yes, we shall do that."
The Diamond Dog should have kidnapped Fluttershy instead of Rarity. She knows how to put in hard work.
Nah, man. Like, way back when, Fluttershy would just stall and panic and, just turn into stone. Like, she'll freeze.
You never know.
Anywho, Twilight just stops her and says, "Fluttershy, how about we use the doorknob?" And they do. And they break an entry.
Personal property? What's that?
Yes, indeed. But they do comment that, oh my gosh, this place is so dusty. It seems like nobody's lived in here for years. And they discovered the plant that causes the illness, the seed swamp lily pad thingy. Yes.
The swamp fever.
Yeah, the swamp fever. And then Twilight just says, "Don't get too excited now. We don't know if we can find a cure." And then Twilight hears a squeak. Like, Fluttershy, what did I say? You're getting excited. And Fluttershy says, "That was not me." Look left on scene and discover that they're not alone. Scream, "Yee!"
Yes, the Alicorn princess who went hoof to hoof with Tyrek.
And Raven.
Screams at a thing in the... Oh, she has reason to be afraid of Raven.
Yes. But still, yes. Screaming, and they discover that they're not alone because said hut has an inhabitant, and said inhabitant is Cattail, and he is the descendant of Meadowbrooks. So, yay!
Although this throws the whole descendant thing into question. I don't even know if this is accurate. Can descendant mean that you're the great whatever nephew of someone and still call them their descendant?
Family related. So, yes.
Yeah, but I've always taken descendant to mean as direct descendant.
Well, if you look at the family tree, you can say they're part of the family. As long as they're connected.
Oh, this is great. Dictionary.com. A person, plant, or animal that is descended from a particular ancestor. You're using the word in its own definition. That is not good. That is a bad definition. And you should feel bad when defining it.
What? Dictionary.com or me?
The dictionary.com. But if you want to feel bad, I won't stop.
Oh, I feel bad.
Okay, then.
That's nice. Anyways.
Yeah, anyways.
We've come to terms.
Cattail here says, "Yo, girl, relax. I own the crib. I kind of take care of it because it ain't my family's crib, yo."
Silver, make him stop.
Cattail be like, oh, Dizam, we got some fly honeys up in this crib. What's your sign, girl?
You people make me cringe.
What do you mean, you people?
You people know what I mean.
What?
So, anywho, Fluttershy and Twilight explains that one of their friend has the swamp fever and they need to find a cure. And Cattail here says, okay, if you want to find a cure, probably Meadowbrooks wrote it down in one of her books. So let's go to the library. Twilight's excited because the library's involved. And said library is just a bookshelf. Yes.
You call this a library?
Well, I love Twilight's line, any pony that lives in a tree is fine with me.
Yep. So after reading the diaries or journals, and one line that I find very fascinating here is that Twilight is reading one of Meadowbrook's journal and involves a colt being mean to Meadowbrook and Meadowbrook put a frog on his head. And Twilight seems really interested in where this story goes. Romance are ahead.
Yeah, well, her friend's about to be turned into a tree, but no, let's find out about something that happened ages ago.
Oh, yeah. But still, Fluttershy stops her and says that, hey, look at this. I think this is something fascinating. And we go to the flashback. And yes, we head to the flashback and we hear how Meadowbrook is trying to cure a chipmunk who has a blocked nose, and her medicine works. Yay.
She's cured the common cold.
Yay.
It's electrifying.
So, yay. And with that cure, Mama Meadowbrook says, honey, you're ready for this, and hands her a present. Meadowbrook opens it and it's a mask. Somebody stop her. So, after receiving the mask, they hear a knock at the door, and here more problem begins. It seems that the whole town is infected by the swamp fever. Mama Meadowbrook's trying to find a cure, and unfortunately, she's infected too. Now it's all up to Meadowbrooks to find a cure.
Dun dun dun. Actually, they're not done, but...
Yep. So, Meadowbrooks sits by the pond and sees the plant in its natural habitat and sees, what is this plant? How does it do stuff? Like, I want to research this. And notice that there are some flash bees and they're not affected by it. And Eureka, she found the answer. And said answer is the honeys.
Eat the honey.
Yeah.
Eat the honey.
Because the bees are not affected by the pollen, by the swamp lily pad thingy. And the bees are immune to the pollens and whatnot. So the honey must have a cure for them. So let's go. So she goes to the flesh bee hive, and it seems that these bees are very, very aggro.
Aggressive, you mean, not aggro.
Aggressive. Aggro.
Indeedy.
Yeah.
But either way, they're very territorial. It's like, step off our crib, yo. Don't be hating.
Yeah, you came to the wrong neighborhood, pony.
Have I ever expressed how much I despise you two?
Yes.
Not within the last minute.
Oh. I hate you guys. I hate you guys. I hate you guys.
So, anywho, Meadowbrook comes back, donning her mask. And she got honey. Yes. Okay, what?
Well, it doesn't show in the flashback that she got the honey.
Oh, yeah, she got the honey.
It's just,
she
well, it shows her getting knocked out. Then it shows that she did get the honey, but it doesn't say how.
Yeah.
That's the important.
True.
I do see the screenshots now where she does have the mask. She's very tiny.
But anywho, she cures the illness, and Fluttershy says, "Yes, I think I know the thing now. Yes, the honey. Yes." And everybody's shocked because Fluttershy has the illness too. Get down with the illness.
No,
Wow, Norman.
Norman.
Wow, Norman.
No.
Even I thought that was too white.
No, that wasn't white. That was lame.
I mean, that's more like you're trying to start your car.
It's like you're trying to make a Disturbed reference. Well, you failed.
Well, I'm disturbed by that. So, anywho, Silver, you want to carry on?
I don't know, Norman. I'm dealing with a chronic depression over how bad that was. Hey.
Now you know how I feel very, very often.
Aw, girl, you know we'd be feeling for you. Well, now I've reduced Norman to giggles and Saffy to tears. So basically, Twilight, everybody tries on different masks to go out and talk to Jan Bees. Bees, my God.
Oh, I forgot to put the reference. Alrighty then. Good job.
But the bees are not having it. So Fluttershy tries her natural animal charm. And when that doesn't work, she tries the stare. And the bees are like, oh, Dizam, now we're going to throw down. Time to cap a pony up in this biznatch. Ooh, it's bees though, so it's biznatch. Natch. And Fluttershy, she's just, I'm fading, falling. And she wakes up in bed 3 days later. 3 days. And it turns out, now thankfully, Twilight has not been idle in this time. She's tried using magic to get the bees out of the way and failed. Mm-hmm. This defies my understanding. This is a princess who can invert gravity. Apparently she needn't fear ravens, she needs to fear bees.
My God.
Again.
Yes, and it seems that Twilight and Cattail were busy. Like for those 3 days, they did not sit on their butts doing nothing. They tried to get the honey.
Don't you mean busy?
Yes, busy. So yes, they tried everything and even unmentionable things that should never be mentioned.
Oh my.
What, the Macarena?
Oh, I told you not to mention it. But I do like the shiver that Cattail did. It's an added scenario where it's fun.
Leave it up to their imagination. And once again, convenient lighting. You know, a bee alights upon the mask, just as a bee passed over the swamp spores. It's just like, wow, all you have to do is sit there and wait for the bees to show you. They're like miraculous in that polka dot vision.
Yeah. And also, don't forget, they mentioned disguises, and that sparks the whole mask thing. And yes, the mask that Meadowbrook wore has the same stripe as the queen, and the worker bees are very affectionate for the queen. So with that, Fluttershy got the honey and found the cure. Huzzah!
Yeah,
so
huzzah.
The day is saved with the power of cosplay.
Yes! Yes, so I think Fluttershy had some for her own cure. Goes back to Ponyville to cure Zecora, and also the doctor. Okay, I need to ask you guys this. How does this disease work?
It's contagious.
But how?
You're asking me how it causes the lungs to spontaneously adopt bubbles, then tricks the glands into secreting lightning, then causes the skin to undergo a rapid change into bark and leaves. And basically you're asking me to truncate this explanation.
Yes.
Well, magic.
Okay, I'll buy it. So after curing everybody, including the doctor, episode ends.
Well, I want to clarify they don't cure the doctor on screen.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously you need to cure the doctor.
I don't know. He was not exactly a credit to his profession.
I think he's the only doctor in Equestria.
No, there's the doctor that looks like Caramel.
Really?
With a horn.
Yeah, I know that guy.
The one who treated Rainbow Dash for her injured wing. No,
I remember him.
If he's such a cruddy doctor, maybe he can at least offer shade to the residents.
Oh, but no, man. He's gonna infect everyone later on with his pollen and whatnot. So no. But anywho, with that, episode ends. Oh, fun fact I forgot to mention. In one of the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic comics, Cattail appeared before this episode came out.
Yeah, that.
Oh, when?
Yeah, there was the release schedules had been screwed up to All Kingdom Come.
Yep.
And so we learned about Cattail in the comics more than we did in the show first. And that's a bitter pill. Feels like they were trying so hard to tie everything together and it just wasn't working.
Yep. And that was a bit confusing.
Just a little bit, but at least we know that Cattail got a girlfriend after this.
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
Cattail got busy.
Oh, my.
But anywho, let's hit into final thoughts. And Silver, what do you think of this episode?
Well, following up on Cattail and the girlfriend, maybe you can teach her about the birds and the bees. Yeah. But this episode, it is fun. It's got a silly disease, and it gets to show Fluttershy at her most proactive. But I find that I'm focusing so much on Twilight's distracted nature and how oddly unfocused she's become. This doesn't feel like the Twilight we've been watching over the seasons. And her unfocused, the apathy of the Doctor. If not for Fluttershy and Cattail, I think that I'd call this episode a wash.
Would you call Cattail a cool cat?
Oh, he'd be straight up tripping, yo.
Tell me.
But I think
Ballin'.
the Doctor there is just playing the trope of the uncaring Doctor.
Well, great, but I don't believe we
There's
needed
an
that trope.
uncaring doctor trope?
Yes.
Of course.
That's terrible.
I don't know if we needed that trope. I don't think that trope was called for.
Oh, Dr. Horse. Yes. But anything else to add on, Silver?
Love the addition of the bees and even the subtle menace of these spores, showing that I've joked that the Everfree Forest has lost its teeth. And I don't know if this is in the Everfree Forest. I mean, it is a swamp. But it's nice to know that Equestria still has a few threats out there that can take people unawares.
Oh, true that.
Now, one of the funnier things about this, after A Perfect Pair, and this came out, a lot of fans flocked to the idea that Pear Butter and Bright Macintosh are not dead. They were just turned into trees. Because everyone wants to hold out the hope that they'll come back somehow.
Oh, wow, no. Just no.
Wait, does this mean they turned into the tree that they left behind?
No.
I don't believe so, but other people want to.
No.
But also, if they don't want to know how it comes back to life, other people want to know, how did they die?
Oh, yeah, I want to too.
Like,
I want to. Like,
what?
That's too
morbid. Yeah, Norman.
Curious. Like, how did they move on?
Normally,
Norman, you sick.
yeah, no. Moving on is usually the process by which the loved family members have to do. I don't know about the actual disease. That just sounds weird. Norman.
Okay.
Norman, first,
Norman, you sick.
First, you sound like a starting up car, and now you're more interested in how two ponies died. I think you need help.
Probably. But anywho, Seppi, what about you?
I didn't remember a lickus thing about this episode.
Really now?
That is all.
Okay. And as for me, this episode was really entertaining. The issue is with a bit with Twilight. Silver needed to point out some few things to make me notice a few things about Twilight. And yes, Twilight here seems a bit out of character, even though I do not like to use that word. But yes, she's a bit out of character for this episode. But the assertive Fluttershy here is a A+. I do like how assertive Fluttershy is, and she's not gonna stop until she gets things done. This reminds me of that one episode with Fluttershy and Discord, where she did everything in her power to get Discord back to his old self.
Yeah.
But I do remember something. This episode here is a pillar episode. One of the Legends of Magics. And the star character, Mage Meadowbrook here, what do you guys think of her?
Well, I know her more from the Legends of Magic comics as it is now. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed her. This one, how to describe this? She's already learning. She's already got her approval from her more experienced mother. This is her at the start of her journey, truly. And so we get to see her determination, but we don't get to see a lot of personality, especially since she doesn't speak. It's in Legends of Magic, truly, where you get to see that she's both very insightful, but she's also got a wild and maybe even combative side.
True that. And, well, I also forgot to mention that this episode here is Patreon sponsored by Starstream. Thank you so much, my friend. It's been a while since we get to do this. But anywho, with that, episode ends, and I think we should head out. Yes, Silva?
Yes, we should shuffle on out, shuffle on out so that we can talk again about Friends Forever.
Indeed.
We collectively have covered the entire series, and so therefore it's time to look back at our favorites, a top 10 for each of us.
Yes.
I had to force myself to look at the list.
So yes, we have to look at the top 10. So anywho, that will be next week's episode. I hope you guys will enjoy that one. And also, if you like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com and ko-fi.com. With every support, you'll get early access to review and discussion podcasts, exclusive and deleted content, and a huge thank you from me. And talking about the thank yous, I would like to thank Lurker, Cat, Starstream, myself, like Amy, Mark, Charles, Lucky Knight, and also Tristan. Thank you guys, you have been really awesome. And Sappy, you mentioned to me that you wanted to plug in your Patreon thing.
I just want more coffee. Send me more coffee.
And where can they do so?
Coffee.com/AMAChristy.
Alrighty then. You heard her, folks. Go and support her if you have the extra bucks.
Coffee. Also, every $6 you send me, I make a sketch. $3 extra if you want more characters. Okay.
So, I have been Norman Sanzo.
I am Silver-Quill.
And I have a dog licking my hand.
Oh, that's so cute. And we'll guys catch you next week with another episode of the MBS show. See ya.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I think I got a sore throat now. Oh, help.